Here we are, the Draftstars AFL show, live on location here at the Timber Yard in Melbourne. Smatho, Roody, and a special guest here, MonkeraiGuy, also known as Tom Kelly. It's the big final. We are live here. Looking forward to seeing all the people arrive here very shortly for the Draftstars live final. Roody, coattails, mate. You made it. You didn't need to qualify all year, and you managed to get a pass in. How are we feeling about today? The venue, the setup, sensational today, isn't it?
Yeah, mate, it's looking really nice. You can't wait for people to come in and see exactly what got in store for them today. I'm here. Yep, I've absolutely cheated my way into the live final today, Smatho, and it's great. I can come here, I can relax, I can talk to people, I can give people grief for how well or badly their teams are going. Stress free. This is the way to enjoy it. Don't know about you, but I'm looking forward to it.
We are looking forward to it. Now, the man here on my left, one of the hottest DFS players on Australia at the moment. Took out the Saturday slate yesterday, coming in hot. Tom, welcome. Thanks for joining us on the live here. Thoughts, mate, feelings? We're an hour out from the game. Surely a bit of nerves coming up.
Yeah, for sure. It's good to be here, first of all, but definitely starting to feel it building. And, it'd be good to get some final team news and get things out of the way and just get the sweat going, I guess.
Now, obviously, Roody is the man to talk about the game itself, but we are actually waiting for final team. So we'll get to your preview in a moment here. But Tom, tell me how you actually got here in the first place. Obviously, 2 ticket wins. Can you remember when were you? Was it early the year or got them pretty late?
No, it's pretty early on. It wasn't too expensive this year to get in. Both AFL tickets this year, which was, I didn't cheat my way in with the NRL like I did last year. I can't remember much about the slates, but I just remember, the $50 qualifiers are a nice way to get in. You don't have to have the big score. I'm pretty sure they were both like that, so that was nice.
Yeah, tell me about your process today. Obviously, you've had the tickets, known for the game for probably like the last 2 weeks. Carlton Collingwood's the game today at 3:20. Have the teams are done? Are they set, or are you looking to tinker just in case maybe a certain player might be out shortly?
Yeah, just waiting on that Sam Walsh news. But yeah, otherwise pretty set. Just went completely overhauled my process yesterday, which probably not advisable. And then just took my best projected lineup and another one that wasn't too similar. And who knows?
Who knows?
Hopefully the luck falls the right way.
Now, we are at the Timber Yard. Obviously, you can see behind us the big LED screens. If I just actually move out of the shot, you might be able to see the belt and the checks in the back there on the stage there. So someone today, $150,000 in their Draftstars account. Now, hopefully they keep it in their account and might be, as a Draftstars man, just rinse it through a little bit. But I doubt that what's going to happen. So we are looking forward to the winner today. Now, obviously, we don't have news just yet, but let's get into Roody's preview. Obviously, what key players that we're looking at today, maybe just one from each position, such as your rucks and your forwards and backs, things like that. So let's start with rucks, Roody. What are you thinking for the slate?
Yeah, so rucks, firstly, Smatho, question, do they get to keep the novelty check?
Oh, yes, that they do.
Amazing.
Yeah.
So that's one of my life goals is to actually get a novelty check. So that's pretty cool. Rucks are interesting because Carlton have made a bit of a change for what they've been doing usually. Pitney is going to go in solo, which is really interesting. So that brings in 2 things. Firstly, Silvani as backup, of course. And then Pitney is a decent play by himself. His price is pretty good. And then we've got the 2 Collingwood rucks, Cox and Cameron. So, interesting. Few viable options. Don't mind the Silvani multiple ways of scoring in there, of course. But Pitney, I think last time he's been solo, he can get up to the 80s, 90s. I wouldn't expect too much more from him, though. He's not the best around the ground ruckman. So Cameron would probably be very highly owned because of his DPP status as well. Yep.
So Roody says, Cameron, are you on the Cameron train today?
It's hard to go away from Pitney. I think all 4 of them are sort of coming off some pretty bad form the last sort of 3-4 weeks. So it's hard to feel good about any of them, but I think Pitney by himself, more or less by himself, and pretty cheap. It's probably going to be the top option, I'd say.
All right, okay. Yeah. Defence, Roody. So obviously Collingwood's fancy production this year has fallen off a cliff, let's just say. Their run and gun style of footy means they don't really handball around down back or chip it around. They just literally get it out of there. In saying that, Collingwood players are pretty cheap on the slate in general. Are we thinking about those today as offenders?
Yeah, I've seen in a couple of mates teams have been throwing around the chats and stuff. I've seen Caleb Marchbank's name coming up far too often. I don't know what people are thinking with that one, but I think for Tom's sake, I hope that he does feature prominently because that's a bad play, really bad play. Jeremy Howe, he's really nicely priced today. I think he'll be popular. And then Williams coming back into the mix, obviously might upset the apple cart a little bit with Sard's a little bit underdone as well. So some difficult choices in the back line. Doherty, of course. 16 is expensive. Played in the midfield last week. I expect to see him there again, especially if Walsh is out. I think that's going to be really big news to follow. But I think Doherty, despite his price, will be quite popular today.
All right. And saying that, Tom, without getting too much away, are you sprinkling that against your two teams, or are you concentrating on two exactly? If you can remember your teams.
Yeah. Defense is interesting because often you get your lower price scrubs that goes off for a 70 or an 80 there. So there's a few of those. One of them is Marchbank. We haven't seen it for a few years, but who knows? Maybe today. I don't feel super good about anyone in defense really. I'm actually going to play Zach Williams, I think.
Ooh.
So not sure about that.
All right, let's go back to forwards because obviously the big news hasn't quite dropped yet, if there's any news. But let's obviously the forwards. Curnow is probably the question I want to ask you, Rudy, because if Carlton are going to win this game, they need production from obviously their two tall teams, McKay and Curnow. Curnow seems to be more in form. Interested in these, your key forwards, or are you just looking to play it safe in your mid forwards?
Yeah, look, if you want to take home the big money, you can't play it safe. You got to stake your claim somewhere. And if I did have a ticket and it was only one, I'd probably go with a Carlton. Is it a Carlton upset? I know they're even money at the on the bookies, but I'd go for a McKay Curnow stack. I reckon. I just think get different. I think it's not that different, but I don't think a lot of people have it. There's a lot of cheap forwards out there today as well. And again, like Tom said before, just will a Ginnivan pop up with a 60 or 70? I actually like the young guy, not young guy, mature age, Ash Johnson. He was in my play around team when I was mucking around before last night. I think, he's probably one of my favourite cheaper options. But then again, you got your mids that are going to go through Lipinski. And then if you do go down to Pitney, get a Cameron in as well, double ruck. Double rucks on these single slates. We talk about it almost every Thursday night, Smatho. Yeah. I think that's going to happen too today quite a lot.
Now, check the news for us, Rudy, see if there's any news about teams.
Yep, checking right now.
There was a 6K player that hasn't played a game, was played half a game this year. His name's Finley McRae. And in the conversations I've had a few people so far, they're actually really interested in playing him. Is he on your radar there, Tom?
He hasn't been so far, but there's still time to figure that out. Actually, I should have, but I haven't yet looked at what he's been doing in the VFL. So, if he's been playing a role down there.
Sorry to interrupt, boys. Sam Walsh is indeed out. Lockie O'Brien is in. Sam Walsh is indeed out today.
Oh, 1 hour out, it's time to scramble. Scramble time. As I said, the doors have just been flung open here at the Timber Yard.
Where are the laptop chargers?
Yes. Where are the phones? Where are your jaws? The jaws are on the ground. So, yes, Sam Walsh is out.
Sam Walsh is out. Lockie O'Brien is in.
Wow. This got real heavy quick. All right. In saying that, Rudy, what happens now? Let's talk about Carlton first. So
what happens now is, like I said, Doherty is definitely going to play that third midfielder role. So Cripps, Setterfield, Doherty will be their core rotation, and that just boosts way up the ownership of Cripps and also Doherty himself as well. Setterfield 2 at 9, I think he was. That's almost a lock for me. Finn McRae, just to let you know, has been tearing it up at VFL. A couple of really big 100-plus scores in the VFL last few weeks. What role does he play today, though? I mean, Collingwood's midfield is not great at the moment, let's be honest. They're really, really not great. So Finn McRae, will they actually give him a role? I say they actually will give him a bit of a role, just because they do have so many of those mid-forward types already, McCreary and Ginnivan, those guys. Like, where does McRae go? He doesn't go forward. So I think he does play a little bit midfield. But yeah, that's big news.
Huge news. Now, Tom, do you need a scramble?
I will in a few minutes, but there's time. There's time. Yeah, no, that's very interesting. Yeah, and I guess that helps out the Zach Williams and Adam Side types as well a bit with Doherty going out of there. So
all right, okay, well, let's all right, okay, we'll let Tom go very shortly too. Obviously, he scrambled with his team. Rudy, final thoughts on this particular game? Obviously, $150,000 going to the winner. It's already highlighted with a late change with one of your best players out. Final thoughts.
Final thoughts are, look, that definitely has changed things. You got two midfields that, are kind of a little bit, not the A-grade midfields, so it's going to be a tough one to pick. I think that it's going to be a close game on the ground, up on the actual game, and who knows? I reckon a real left field team is going to take home the big money today. I reckon just go for my sneaky is a bit of a Lewis Young in the back line for me. But just go for it. Go with your gut, and good luck to all the participants today.
Now, Rudy, 1 beer per hour, please, since you've done your work. Tom, good luck for the slate today. Hopefully, we'll be talking to you a little bit later on, considering you've already got enough money from last night. So, yeah, good luck for tonight, mate.
No worries. I'm going to take those nuggets I got from Rudy there and go and put them in action.
All right. Okay, so this has been the special edition of the Draftstars AFL show live from the Timber Yard. Stay tuned to the DFR socials throughout the afternoon for comments. Rudy's actually going to be doing some work during the week, so this is going to be very interesting. So thanks for all tuning in, and look forward to catching the winner later today. Cheers. Keep smiling.
Still on.
There you go.